Afternoon, and it's a Thursday afternoon. We just had a rain shower, but now it looks like decent blue skies. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm back in the shed working on the GSX 1400, and what I'm going to strive to do is make a platform on there out of some very thick steel to put my Givi plate on. So I'll be able to use the GSX with a top box. Yep, it will ruin some of the lines that the arse end has, or well, the whole bike has, but it makes it a lot more functional for me. And if I am going to use it as a secondary commuter bike, I need to be able to get my top boxes on there to take my crap to and fro work. So that's this afternoon's plan. So first of all, I'm going to take I'm going to make a bit of a template of this shape here, both sides, and then transfer that onto the steel and cut something similar, because we know it ain't going to be the same. It ain't never going to be the same again. Okay, so I've done a couple of templates, transferred that onto the steel, and now I'm going to cut it out. Right, that's them two cut. Now just loads of shaping to do. Okay, so I've shaped that off both sides. That's both the brackets, obviously clamped together. Well, not obviously, but they are clamped together. Pretty much the shape I want. This is a 40 grit flat disc that I've got on at the moment. I'll probably put a 120 on and smooth those bits in a bit more and take the faces off. First of all, I want to get the bolt holes done, so I get them both in the same place, because it's symmetrical on the bike, so it needs to be symmetrical on the brackets. So I'll get that done first, and then, as I say, I'll get a 120 grit probably flat disc, clean off these sides, and then clean the top edge, ready for welding. For welding the top frame on. How exciting. Far too exciting. Right. I've been enjoying myself so much. I didn't actually do any videoing, but that's about where I'm at. Obviously this plate wants cutting down and shaping somehow, and then the Givi adapter plate will go on, bolted in 4 places, and sit directly on there, something like that. And the overhang doesn't matter, because the seat pops off of these and goes back about half an inch, and then I can lift it up from the front. So I'm not worried about the overhang. What I am pleased about is it's not exceeding the back of the bike, so I haven't got this rack system sitting right out over the back, so it looks not at the moment, probably not never, but it looks better placed, I think. And also the weight in which I put in the top box will be directly onto the bolts underneath. I don't know why Suzuki have put an M6 and an M8 next to each other, but they have. And I've just ordered I haven't got any long enough. Now I put this plate on, I haven't got any A2 stainless steel bolts long enough to actually go right the way through. So I've just ordered some more and some spacers as well, just to hold that just slightly off the handrail. But where was I going with that? But it's on there. I didn't know where I was going with that. The top edge this side needs the front just trimming off ever so slightly to stop that rock. Apart from that, it's pretty much level right the way through. Where are we there? So pretty much level right the way through. And what you'll see is these side bits and then just the plate on the top. That has a cover that goes over it anyway. Looking at that, the arms coming up will be directly underneath this piece of the adapter plate. So all you'll see is these arms going up and then the Givi plate, adapter plate on the top. You won't even notice the metal plate underneath, which leads me to wonder whether I actually need to shape it at all or not. What I'll possibly do is bring these in ever so slightly just to make sure it is within the adapter plate. So just a slight curve from about here, about 10mm, both sides, bring them in, and then the top plate can be cut to suit that width and then welded on. Yeah. Stop waffling, get on with it. Right, I'll take all this apart, bend these in by 10mm, see how it looks. How's that? That was quicker, wasn't it? Right, I've just done that one a little bit. And standing that one next to it, it would be about 10mm. I'm going to give it some more. just a little bit more. You just wouldn't let it lie, would you? See what that looks like. Oh, looks like a bent piece of metal. So that one there, what do you reckon? 10mm? 15? Only had to tape measure this end of the shed. Who made such a big shed that you've got to walk up and down just to get anything? Right, good answer. Yeah, thanks for that. Oh, it's such a precise artwork. Oh, that's looking good. It's looking good. So now we'll put them back to back. They should be about 20mm apart. At the peak, oh my god, look at that, at the peak, 22mm. Well, 21.5, but 22mm. It was 11 going this way with this to the straight, and now I've bent that one, it's 22. So that means that has got to be somewhere bloody damn close to being exactly the same as that. Oh, life is just fantastic. Look at the way they fit flush, beautifully. Beautiful. Just shove them back on the old charabang. Somewhere there. That is the centre of this metal, centre of this steel runs through the centre of the adapter plate, giving me maximum beef. Who uses that word? But now you can see, hopefully you can see, that does look better with that, those frames bent in like that. Although this right hand one looks as though it's okay. Attempt number 7454. Take one. Definitely much better visually, closer to what it wants to be. Still looks like this one is pulling itself in at the bottom, which is bringing it out at the top. Is the answer to that, but aesthetically it's looking beautiful, and I've brought it back slightly, the actual adapter plate, so it will end where the bike ends, so it gives it proportionally it looks beautiful. Underneath, as I say, all you're going to see is these arms going up, and you probably will notice this plate, because obviously you've got this far in this video that you know it's there, but other people, not as worldly wise as you guys, will not notice it's there because they won't bend down to have a look. And as I say, the Givi adapter has a fill-in bit of plastic, so you don't see the honeycomb going through. So that will be it. That looks about right. So now I'm going to mark where the arms are and where the Givi is. Get it all pretty much spot on. This edge of the Givi plate lines up with the edge of the brackets coming up either side, which is lovely. Very accidental, but lovely. So yes, I'm going to make sure it's all exactly where I want it, and then I'm going to mark out where I'm going to shave off bits and mark where these arms go underneath, ready for welding. Oh, scary. Okay, the welder's out. I've done a couple of tags there. Tacks. Did loads of practice on there and completely mashed that up. As I say, I've done a couple of tacks on there with the handrail in place to get me where I needed to be. And now I'm going to strip off the handrail and weld it some more. But yeah, they didn't come out too bad or too good. I'm dying to have a look at the underside of it to see if I've got penetration through. I can see I've got penetration on the backs through from the weld there, so I just want to see if the heat's gone through and I've actually got penetration, because obviously this is going to take the top box and a bit of weight in there and wobble like hell going down our bumpy British roads. So yeah, I'll turn the weld off, take the handrail out of the way and have a look. Okay, moment of truth. Where are we? There. Right, moment of truth. Ever so slightly there, but that is a beautiful bit of penetration there, nice bit of heat. So I'm happy with that side. I'm not so sure about this side, but I've only put on small tag as opposed to the amount I put on there. But it feels quite solid. Right, carry on. And now I've run out of wire. If it's not one thing, it's something else. Well, this might go disastrously wrong. I've run out of 0.6 wire, so I've upgraded to 0.8. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh, you can see this big patch there of oh, that's still warm. Oh dear, too old and stupid. Big patch there showing that the weld has penetrated, the heat's gone through, and equally so this side you can see exactly where the weld was, the heat's gone through. So I'm going to let that cool right down. I really did build it up, so let's give it a brush off and see if we can make it look better than it actually is. So I'm going to let that cool down, and then I'm going to sand down, get the, I was going to say flapjack then, flap disc out, and sand these down a bit, beautify them slightly, and then assemble it all, drill the holes for the plate to go on, the adapter plate to go on, Givi adapter plate to go on, and then paint it all. So yes, first things first, let it cool down. Okay, again, leapt ahead, just drilling out the holes ready to put the rack on, not the rack, the adapter plate on. Drilled out 3 of them, 1 to go. Right, let's see if that fits on there now. That's it, it's on there. I don't think I want these bolts all the way down like that, so I'll possibly put the bolts up through, and then it's only the bolt head that will be seen below rather than these big threads. Yeah, so poke it up through from underneath, so it wants a good 10mm cut off of it, and that'll look a lot tidier. So that's the bolts done, the holes are drilled. I've just got to take it all back off now, clean it up again, give it some brake cleaner, get the grease and everything off, and then tough black it, I think. Yeah. Okay, so it's cleaned up as much as I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to leave the weld as a feature. I don't mind the look of it, and I'm fairly confident that it's going to be functional, as in it'll hold my top box on it no matter what the weight. So I'll just give it a clean off, get rid of the worst of the wax and wax? No bloody wax on this. Grease and grime. Although it's only tough black going on it, so that deals with all manner of stuff. That's probably why you can use it without why you can use the tough black without a primer. Right, that's in position. Move the table out a little bit. Right, get some tough black, shake it up and spray it at that. Okay, painting done. Time to screw it back on the bike. Okay, so that's the plate on. So I haven't got the M6s at the moment, so these aren't long enough. It's just bolted in at the back. I'm going to get the top plate, Givi plate on. As I say, I'll try my what? What am I trying? The top box, that's it. And as I've said, I want the bolts up from underneath, so there's less protruding down. And although they're nylock nuts, I'm still putting nut locker on them as well. It's not something I want to find out is loose while I'm shooting down the road. Just altering that one so its slot is that way. Just needed to move it over ever so slightly so it fits the base that I've made. Just this one here just seems to be a little bit too long. I think the rest are all right, because obviously there's a plate to go over that, which I'll get now and make sure I can get on there. That one might need trimming. Okay, final bit to this, that way round, is the cover plate that just clips in. As I say, I'm just worried about this one at the back here being that little bit too proud. Oh no, that's alright. That's alright. Oh, I've only had the rest of it. Anyway, there it is on there. There's a couple of little screws to go in there, but first of all I'll get a top box and put it on there and show you what it's going to look like. Oh, and I'll put the seat back on as well. There you go. There's a GX 1400 with a homemade top box bracket. I'm not going to say it's a rack, because it's not a rack, because it's got one use, and that is to support this. But there you go. All you can see is the 4 bolt heads at the bottom. It follows that up quite nicely. It's quite level, or it will be when the M6 longer bolts arrive and get screwed in there. Yeah, what can I say? What can I say? I usually got so much to say. I really haven't. But there you go. There's a top box on the GSX 1400, which makes my GSX a lot more functional for longer trips, or indeed commuting, taking crap to work. And I don't think that looks too bad. It's hard to give you a decent angle on it with the lighting I've got. It's all sort of symmetrical and lovely, and it's on there, isn't it? As I say, once I get the proper bolts for it and all the weight, where's the pack? That's the metal plate there, from there to there, which is right the way through there, which is where the abundance of weight will be, directly on the bolts. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's a successful tinker, isn't it? Took me a few hours to make it, that's for sure. And at the back there, it's pretty much lined up with the tail, slightly forward, but there's none of that massive overhang that you usually get with a top box or a rack, because I'm not going to take the pillion, so that doesn't matter. But yes, there you go. Beautiful machine. And now with a little bit more functionality. Tell us what you think. Anyway, that's enough for today, I think. Ta-ra.